All right, if you're tired of hearing about the latest data breach and your information has been leaked out to hackers because some large company has gotten hacked again and you want to keep your data local, then a network attached storage, or NAS, is something that you can look at. Now, this can do photo storage, you can do video storage, you can use it as a multimedia server, you can use it as a gaming server. If you have security cameras, you want them recorded to that. If you want to have your music, photos, or if you just want to have your backup of your data, files, video, and whatnot, saved and backed up on this, then that is another option for it. So I'm going to go through here. I'm going to open up this UGREEN. This is the DH4300 Plus. It's a 4-bay, or has 4 hard drive bays, and this is something that I'm going to show you how easy it is to just unbox and set up. Now, the 2 black boxes I have is the hard drives. So since it is a 4-bay, it does take 3.5 inch or 2.5 inch hard drives. It can take about 120 terabytes total capacity there. So let's open it up and then we'll go through this setup process. Okay, so unboxing it is pretty straightforward. It just comes with a couple items here. With the NAS itself, it has a short Ethernet cable. It's got its power brick. It's got an instruction book. It's got a little 2-year warranty booklet with a QR code for customer support if you need that. The instruction book is in multiple languages. It's pretty straightforward, nothing too fancy here, but it does go through the information about how you or shows pictures here of how you actually put these hard drives in there. So it's probably good to follow so you understand how they do go in and how they get secured. Okay, and the hard drives here, I have the 3.5 inch form factor. They're each 4 terabyte size, and so that's 16 terabytes total. But of course, depending on your RAID format, you might not get 16 terabytes of usable space if I'm using some of them as redundancy in there. So I'll show you that setup here in a little while. Then you get the little screws for the hard drives to screw into the trays, as well as a free little cheapy screwdrivers. So you can see it says UGREEN DH4300 Plus. And then you have a couple, you have a button, power button here. You have a couple lights that tell you the activity on both the LAN and all 4 disks, as well as a USB-C on the front of the unit. On the back of the unit, you get an HDMI out. So this is great if you want to have this be your multimedia server. You can actually have this hooked straight up to a TV and use it to play videos straight off of the unit itself. Then you have a couple USB 3.2 ports. You have a 2.5 gig LAN port, reset button, and then the power port. Now, the top of the unit actually is magnetic, and it comes off, and then that allows you to get access to the hard drive trays. These just have a little pinch release on both the top and bottom, I guess, or the sides of it, and then it slides out the tray. So now once you have the tray out, it's very easy to take the hard drive and you place the hard drive in there. I believe we're going to place it like this. Okay, yeah, so we just place it in there, and then we will get screw holes on the 3.5 inch will be these side screw holes, and then I believe on the 2.5 inch will be these bottom screw holes that will line up with it. So let me go ahead and attach all my hard drives. Okay, so all 4 are in there now. It's very easy to just screw them in with the screws provided. I like the feel of it. It has a nice quality feel. The each of these slides have a rubber bottom, which I'm sure helps probably dampen out any noise. So they are numbered on the top, and so I'm just going to put them back in order here. So I'm just going to slide them in here, and then we'll watch them go down, and we click them in place, and they're all set. So I'll just do that for each 4 of these guys, and click it in place. And it automatically lines up the connections there. So I mean, you want to be gentle with it, but it's fairly foolproof. Just put them in the right order and push them in, and you're good to go. Then I can put the top back on, and it is all covered here. So one thing I'll note is the fan exit is on the back side, which is nice, and then the fan input is down here on both the sides and the bottom of the unit. And what that allows is a nice large surface area for that fan to work on, and it's also not blowing out, directly the top or the front of the unit. So it should help keep it nice and quiet. Alright, so I have Ethernet cable ran from here over into one of my closets with a switch. I did this just so you can see the footage out here where I got better lighting. So now it is plugged in. I see a little bit of lights going on the back side. Let me press this button here to get it to start up. Now I see a solid light there. So we will let this guy start up for the first time. And there's a couple ways I can connect to it. I can go directly to a web browser, so any computer on my network with the same network as this. Okay, so the instruction book tells you to go to this website. It's nas.ugreen.com/pages/download. There's also the NFC code that you can scan. I think my tablet actually doesn't support that, but here's my phone with the NFC. So once I tap it up to that sign, I get a icon that tells me to go in here and download the UGREEN NAS app. Alright, and then if I already have the app and I touch it onto here, it's going to pull it up and it's going to automatically load up the UGREEN app and the home page, the dashboard there. If your phone does, you can do that, and this is a 4300 plus. So I click on that, and now here I can see there's firmware, but really what I want right now is a client, and that is for me to download on my Android tablet here so that I can use it. So you have to have a little bit of judgment here as far as what your device is. If it's Android TV, then there's that, but if you have Windows or Apple, or for me, I have an Android tablet here, so I'm going to download this one, and this is just going to be the UGREEN NAS app in the Play Store. So you could just search for that in the Play Store, and that would work for you just as well. So now I'm going to install that, and then we should be able to hook up to it. Okay, so that app is installed, and now I will probably need to make an account. Okay, so it automatically found it. That was very quick and easy, so I'm going to click register. And then this is its name. Okay, so I just set up my account very quickly by giving a username and password and then sharing my email address so I can have cloud access and whatnot. So I see all the lights there are still solid. It's doing the initialization. It was very quick to detect this NAS on my network, so that was easy. And it's just going through the default setup here. Okay, so give it several minutes to do its thing. It did a couple beeps and it restarted, and so now I'm just in here for the first time. So I'm going to leave it named just the way it is. The app center is where I can get some more apps. And now I'm going to the basic functions, obviously. So now this is where it's going to help you with the setup, and it's going to be based off of what you want to do with it. Alright, so this is where I need to make a storage pool, so I can select as many of these as I want. And that's, if you need help with that, maybe you have to read up on it or use these little help icons. But for me, I'm going to have all four of them connected up, and this is where I can pick my different levels of redundancy or data protection. And here's where you can see that I can choose, if I choose RAID 0, I'll get all 14.5 terabytes of usable space. If I use RAID 1, then I'll get only 3.6. I'll only get one hard drive of usable space basically. So to me, what makes the most sense for this case is for me to use RAID 5, which is going to allow one hard drive to fail, and I can just put in another hard drive and it will mirror over into that one and replace it without any data loss. So that's what I'm going to pick here. And then it's going to say, okay, we're going to assign all of the volume to this space. If I wanted less of it, I could take some out. And then you have your file system format. I'm just going to go ahead and let it do its thing. It's going to warn you that yes, everything is going to get deleted off the hard drives, of course, but that's what I expect. Okay, so now I heard it spinning up. It's very quiet, but I did hear it make a little bit of noise, the hard drive noise. So now it's going to be making that storage pool. Alright, so while it's doing that formatting, I just went back to the main page. You can see on the must-do list, I've done 2 of them. It wants me to create a folder. I probably need to wait until I actually make the volumes, but I need to go ahead and play around Alright, so it has a couple options when you make a folder. I can make it a personal folder, so it's just for that specific user. If you wanted to, I can add as many of these as I wanted to. Okay, so all I made was basically a user folder that has a personal folder inside there. I can also add a new shared folder, or a network folder for that matter. So I'm going to do a shared one just to make this easy. We'll click shared, and then you can give rights to whoever you want. So I can have a general user if I add them to be able to have access to this. And then let me go in here and add a new one that's I'm going to call a network one to see if it shows up on my computer or how easy it is for it to show up. So I'm going to do a connect network one, and for this one I'm probably going to use SMB. Alright, so now the next one, after making a folder, it says you'll learn more about remote access. So this is where I can learn more about how do I actually access this device, either from inside my intranet or from outside. Okay, so there we go. It said that I'm all set up now. It's really just, it didn't take long at all. It took a couple minutes. And now I can go in here and just start playing with different settings. I've never played with these before. But I can just look in here. First I'm going to see update. And it looks like it already has one. So yes, it looks like there is an update. So obviously it's good to get those things updated when you first get them, before you start messing with the settings, so maybe they fixed some bugs or added some features that you want to see. So we'll let it do this update, and then we'll play with it some more. Alright, so the setup was quite easy. This is the home page, and you can see I really do like the simple layout here about the system and the hardware information, so you can get a quick view there that, you know, the fan's working, what the temperatures are of the CPU and all the hard drives. It tells me how long it's been up, as well as any kind of resources. Now of course I can click on these to get a little bit more information if I want some more details there about my specific device. And here in the control panel you can see where you can adjust your user management. You can assign users just access to specific folders or specific things if they have remote access, or they have to be on your LAN. You get your different file service. This is one thing I did go in there and do, and enable all of these file services so that I can easily connect to it in multiple different ways. And this works on both Windows and Apple devices, as well as, you know, a mobile device here. So I enabled these, and then I also went into the Discovery service and clicked that on. That makes it show up on my Windows computer just by, if I just go to my File Explorer and go to Network, it'll pop up as a computer, and I can go in there and scroll through any of the folders that I've shared as being accessible with that login. So you have to log into it when you do that, and you can get all those folders. So when you do that, it looks like it's just a file that's on your computer. And if you have good network connection, then it's going to be going very quickly as well in the transfer. One worthwhile note on the hardware and power area is the bottom one, the UPS connection. So that's an uninterruptible power supply. If you have that plugged in, then when the device loses power, or if if you lose grid power and the UPS is powering it, and you have it connected, most of them have a communication protocol that will allow the UGREEN to actually know that it's on power from the UPS, and that it needs to shut down potentially to protect itself. So that's kind of a nice feature that some of these NAS units have in them, and this one does. Okay, so now back on the home page here, you can see some apps. I did actually go in there into this app center and look through the different apps that are are already available directly for this. And the one that piqued my most interest was actually the Home Assistant one, and it's because I use Home Assistant for my smart home automation, and I bought a standalone little computer to run my Home Assistant. But had I had this earlier, I would not have needed to do that, because I can actually run Home Assistant native on this device, which is kind of a cool feature there. And if I go back, you can see not only do you have that, but you have Docker, so you can run any Docker applications or features in there. And then they have a couple built-in ones, and the ones I want to maybe show you is like the Photos app. So it has the ability to take all your photos and sort them, of course, by date, and it can have AI to find things if you you search by specific things. It can remember people. And then this is a local copy, of course, that is going to be saved. And with the redundancy, if you have RAID set up like I do, the chance of losing your content on that is very slim. And if I go back here to the theater mode, this one's really tailored towards playing the video. So again, this stuff that I'm seeing right here is on this UGREEN, and I'm connected wirelessly to it, but I can grab something that's 4K, and in fact on here you can see it even shows me which ones are 4K with that little 4K symbol up at the top. So I can go in here and hit play, and now it's loading it from there and playing this video through here. So I can do that on my mobile devices. I can also do that through maybe some smart TVs, or if I have the HDMI plugged in, I could also do that. Alright, so I logged into the UGREEN NAS through my computer with the web browser, and I just went to the IP address of the unit, and then it'll ask you for the login. And you can see it looks kind of like a virtual machine, meaning it kind of looks like a desktop computer here, which makes it very intuitive and easy to use. And I'll show you a feature here that I do think is pretty nice to have built in, and that is the AI capability to search through your photos. And you can search by lots of different terms. I did have to go in here and go into the settings, go to the intelligent part, and then click on the intelligent model for it to go through. And I think they are sort of working through this to get it kind of fine-tuned to work. But if you have a lot of photos in there and you want to kind of find some of them, I can type in something like girl on bike, and it will go through all of my photos, and it'll have this collection of a girl on a bike. So we just did a camping trip, and lo and behold, here's my daughter on a bicycle. And what it looks like is, it looks like it's showing the best result up at the top. But then if I go down here, it does miss some things. But for the most part, most of these are a bike, are a little ATVs on here. But then there are a few that are kind of random that are not a girl on a bike. So it's not fully perfect yet, but I think they're still fine-tuning it. It certainly makes finding photos much easier than trying to go back and look at them one by one, or try to remember the date that it was on there. So that is a nice feature to have, and it's all local, built into just this this NAS hardware. So now the other thing I like about having my own personal NAS is that all of my features and all my capabilities, they're all included with this unit, and there is no subscription. So for me to keep uploading my photos to this, or to keep it going, I don't need to pay any kind of fees for that. It's all built in. Okay, now if you have a cloud service from another party and you do want to sync that up, and you want to have files maybe from the cloud and brought onto here, you can go in here to cloud drives, and this allows you to create a new folder. So if I clicked the Google Drive, for example, and hit next, it's going to ask me to log in, and then I could tell it what folders I would want to have it sync and back up onto here. And so that's also a great way to start to take things off of one of those cloud services and get onto your personal cloud, is because you'll be able to grab them all off of there this way. And then if you want to actually back up things from your device that are not on the cloud, for example right here, by clicking this mobile phone backup, since I'm running the UGREEN app on this tablet, this tablet is this SM X510, and it's going to allow me to schedule, determine if it's on cellular or Wi-Fi for it to back up, and then I can also pick which albums I want. So if I go into here, I can see the backup source. Right now I don't have it enabled on this tablet, but if I click the albums here, these are all these different albums that I have on my tablet that I could select for it to back up automatically onto there, and it'll do that every night. So I never have to touch it. Once I set it up, it will just automatically keep backing up these files onto this little personal cloud. And now the main reason why I'm interested in doing that is because my personal cloud doesn't cost me any money every month, and in order for me to get enough data, when I have terabytes of data, it's a lot of money to pay for the cloud services. If you're using the free cloud services where you get several gigs, then maybe it's not a big deal. But if you want to store all of your photos and all of your videos especially, they take up a lot of space. And so that's where this unit, like I said, you can put it up to 120 terabytes on this unit. So that is plenty of space for me by far, and I like that I don't have to pay every month or every year to keep that up. So I know for some people, maybe the hesitant to getting their own personal cloud is that maybe they're scared of the complexities and I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. I will say this was super easy to set up. It was almost plug and play as far as getting it initially set up. And then yes, there are a few things I had to do, like on this tablet, install the UGREEN app, and then like I said, go into here to like sync and backup in order to set it up. And I have to pick which albums I want, which is very straightforward. And then I can do the same thing on a computer as well and set that device as a backup one, or link it to watch videos or photos that I already have. So it's a very small learning curve to do that, and then it frees you up from the constraints or the vulnerabilities that there might be out there in the public cloud, because now you're local. Of course, for me, I just like having a tangible device that has all my contents in it, and I can kind of keep an eye on it, and I feel like I have a little more control over the content and what is all accessible. Alright, so if you have any questions about this, please do put them down in the comments below. I do actually read the comments and try to respond to them when appropriate. I'll be keeping on testing this unit out and seeing how it performs. So I do appreciate if you give me that thumbs up on the video right down below, and then consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Alright, well, if you are ready to take back control of your digital life and have all of your files stored locally where you can control them, then look down below for the link that gets you 20% off one of your own UGREEN NAS units there. And then if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. And then, of course, stay tuned for more videos as I do release them every week with all types of different topics between the tools, technology, and the outdoors. So thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.